All right, here we are. Hey, thanks for joining. Once again, we're doing a little live stream today. I'm going to continue to build the RFC app that we've been working on in a couple of streams here. And I've got two pretty cool things to show you and do with you actually today. So let me share my screen here. Like so. Yeah, okay, cool. Hey, that's Twitter. Okay. First of all, let me show you some of the design changes and the front end changes we made. Titan, Titan. Let me here. Titan. Here they are. If you're into the Laravel community, you're probably aware of who these people are. They spent some time and gave me some feedback and tried to work out some design stuff with me because I really suck at that. And yeah, it's still a work in progress. They also have to do client work, of course, but it's already pretty cool, I would say. Much better with white spacing, and it's much cleaner. Design, it's the little details, and I really suck at them. So, but like I said, there's still quite a lot of work to do, but I'm super happy with where it's going. So Titan, thank you very much for the time you've been spending on this. I really like it. Besides design changes, there are a couple of new features here as well. Like you have added functionality for your arguments. You can delete them. I'm admin, so I can delete every argument now, but normally you can only do that for your own. What else? We have these buttons here now. Did I make any more significant changes? There were actually quite a lot of pull requests again. Oh, there are two more. They just arrived an hour ago. Cool. People keep sending pull requests. I really like that. I really enjoy that. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm always so happy. After the past stream, I closed my laptop and I went downstairs. And in the evening, there were already 3 or 4 new pull requests fixing issues. Super cool. Really, thank you for helping out. And I really hope that this project can go live pretty soon, that we can really start using it. That would be pretty nice. But before we can properly use it, there's one very important change we need to make. I was talking to Roman. Roman is in chat as well. He just said hi, Roman. Hey, glad you're here. Roman is my colleague. He's also an administrator at the PHP Foundation, and we've been talking about like the goal of this website and how we can add some value for the PHP community and how we can help internal developers to get the feedback, the valuable feedback from the community. And I'm showing it already, but actually let me go to the website. By the way, the links are in the description, links to this website and to the source code as well. But let me show you the issue here. Well, actually, this one is better. So we have a vote bar, right? And the idea is you vote for an RFC, and basically that's it. Afterwards, you have the possibility to add an argument to explain why you voted yes or no, right? But we want to change that a little bit, because the true value of like this website is from getting valuable and thorough feedback, right? And just voting yes or no, it gives an indication of what the community wants, but it's a bit like too easy and you don't get enough feedback, right? That's also like something internals say very often, that on an official RFC vote, we get too little feedback, and they solve it by just talking about it on the email list. But we want to improve that process for userland developers, PHP community members. So what we want to do essentially is to make arguments required. Basically, if you want to vote, you'll have to write an argument why. But on top of that, the vote bar over here, it isn't just a accumulation of the votes. it's like it's not just a 16% voted yes and 86% in this case vote no. It's a little more elaborate than that. It will actually count the upvotes on arguments, and we still need to figure out how we can properly show that to the users, that they are aware of how and why that's happening. But I actually like this idea very much, and Roman came up with it. I like it because it really forces users not only to write arguments, but also to interact with them. And in the end, if you imagine like this was a real a vote here that we created on the website, in the end, we'll have like this list of properly phrased arguments, I hope, with upvotes, and we'll have the bar over here that still shows like how the community feels overall, but we also have a very clear rank of which arguments did better. For example, it's entirely possible that there's only one pro argument, but it receives so many upvotes that we end up with a 90% pro result here. So yeah, that's the basic idea. There are a couple of interesting things that change because of that. I wrote some things down here. So essentially, we're making arguments required, but arguments will be like the main thing here. There won't be a standalone vote anymore. So the vote bar, it shows the amount of votes for arguments, which, by the way, essentially, if you make an argument, you already vote for it yourself. So every argument is, in fact, a vote, basically, but we introduce another level here. But there are some open questions, some considerations. For example, we could limit the amount of votes any user has per RFC, and I think that's a good thing. You shouldn't just go around and click everywhere. There's just a new comment here. You're distracting me. Hang on a second. So yeah, we could limit, and we should limit the amounts of votes per user per RFC. And an interesting benefit is that the higher a user's reputation is, they could gain more votes. So that gives a little more incentive for reputation. And again, reputation is earned by interacting and voting and writing arguments. So it's all like, it's a continuous feedback loop, right? We could also increase the amount of arguments a single user can make, because it might be entirely possible that a user has a pro and a con argument, and they both have value. Now, however, I think it's good to limit the amount of arguments to 1 by default, and again increase that depending on how much reputation a user has, basically. So yeah, I think those are some interesting results of this way of modeling the vote. Because it increases, or it encourages people to interact more, but it also focuses on what matters most, and that are the arguments and reasons why people prefer or don't prefer a given RFC. And it also shows how other people feel about the arguments. So you might not agree with a given argument, but say it has 100 upvotes, it might be worth considering it. So yeah, I hope that's clear. There is, of course, a problem. It's more of a UX problem, like how do we tell the story that I just told within the UI? That's an interesting one. But yeah, we're going to work on this today, basically. Let me take a look here. The chat is already pretty filled. Once again, if you're new here, I try to look at chat pretty often, so just leave your feedback and your questions. So the comment is wrong, I think. Look at the same page. I don't know which comment you're talking about, but let me know. Oh, just a vote. Oh, I don't know. Okay. It turns out to be okay. But thanks for asking, chat. Alex has a question here. Wouldn't this weigh more people who vote everything up or down? I don't think so, because votes are limited. So I think that will help. Oh, Roman already answered that. And argument should have a minimum character size amount to reduce spam. That's a good point. Yeah. Let's just add that here. Minimum argument size. That's a good point. Let's just implement that right away when we're working there. So yeah, that's all comments for now, and let's get started, because actually I have to leave at 2 o'clock. I have a meeting with Roman, believe it or not, and some other people. So I hope to get as much done as possible, but we're working against the clock here, so interesting as well. Okay, let's take a look at the database for a second here. We have votes, which are separate. They are attached to a user and an RFC, and they have a type, which is yes or no. So votes aren't that complex. The thing we need to do is to move votes to arguments. And you know the downside of like having this publicly already, which is good because that's how we're learning. I don't want to bother people with having to re-register again. So we'll probably, now I understand the comment. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button here. Yeah, but we'll have to work with migrations basically. I can just throw away my database at this point, which is fine. That's all part of the process, but I don't want to start from scratch again, because then people have to re-register, and that wouldn't that wouldn't be all that well. Question here from Zeta: is this intended to replace or complement official wiki-based voting system, or is this more of a hypothetical? This is for the community, and it's not intended to replace internals, but its goal is to gather feedback from the community and maybe have that feedback help internals to make decisions. So if you want to read more, by the way, Roman is he wrote a page here on the about section. You can take a look here what's going on. So thanks for asking. Okay, so we're moving vote type to argument. That's the first step, and we have to make that work. Basically, that's a good start. So let's begin here. We'll make a migration, add vote type to arguments, table, and let's say table. Vote type is string. Vote type, it's not nullable, but well, let's keep it nullable for now, because we have to deal with existing data, right? Vote type is nullable, and it's coming after. Let me actually check where I want this to be. So user ID RFC, probably after RFC ID. That makes sense. After RFC ID. And then we'll probably have to migrate existing votes as well. So let's say argument each function argument, and we'll say argument update vote type equals argument. It's actually more difficult because there isn't any relation, but it's okay. That's easily fixed. So let's say vote equals argument user get vote for RFC, and then it's argument RFC, and that's how we get the vote. And we say vote type. Oh, that's wrong. Okay. Migrate. Okay. So comment here. Perhaps your vote can be fractionally spread. Everyone gets one vote. If you upvote multiple arguments, it becomes whether for or against, it becomes a half-third vote internally. Could be interesting. That way, even with a limited vote, you avoid having less weight if you don't spend them all. Each. Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, that's interesting. Let me think about it. I think I want to implement it like the easy way first, but then we can think about that. Yeah, might be an interesting idea. Thanks. Okay, so we migrated. Let's take a look here because RFC user and casts here. Vote type class, sure. That's all fine, and let's take a look actually. Okay, yeah, so that's everything that's converted here in this column. That's fine. Good. Next we want to go to our argument list. Argument list over here. And oh yeah, that's in an argument card here. If vote, and yeah, we pass the vote here, but that's not necessary anymore. So we can say argument vote type. Perhaps I should have called it type. No, vote type is more explicit. I think that's better. If it's yes, then it's this, and else it's that. Let's take a look if that still works. Yeah, sure. Let's just make sure I'm in the right place here. This is actually annoying. This one only has. Okay. And this one only has. Aren't there any RFCs? Okay, here we are. Good. Let me delete a couple. This is like seeded data, right? Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm in the right place. Okay, good. Okay, and I think, yeah, because there are a couple more places, right? Oh, only here. Argument vote type. Sure, that works well. And type, nothing else? Yeah, definitely. Argument vote type. Ooh, vote type. Vote type. All right. And let me double check. This is the vote counter. Yeah. Okay. That still works as intended. That's all fine. So I think that was everything we needed to do here. But now we need to make changes here. At first, I'm going to assume people will still be able to create one vote and one vote only. That's easier than trying to immediately support multiple arguments. So in this case, we choose, but right now it's already saved. That shouldn't happen. So let's go to the vote bar. It's already creating a vote, which doesn't matter anymore. And we probably want to merge these two components together, I think. Yeah, that's quite a refactor, but that's fine. So public vote type equals null. Vote type. So we have the vote type, and we have like the body, string body of our argument, right? These are two things we want to change. Okay, so if we vote, we need to be logged in. That will stay the same. Instead of creating a vote here, we'll just say this vote type equals vote type, and that should be this actually. Okay. We're not going to refresh anything, and we're not going to emit any events. So we're just setting the vote type. And then we're going to show the form when that vote type is actually set. So if vote type, and we're going to show these arguments here. Let's try whether that works. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's say it like this. You're voting. So you're voting yes, and then next, give your arguments, probably something like this. Okay, you're voting yes, you're voting no. Okay, and then we need to change user vote here. And we can change that with vote type, which is easier. Okay, you're voting yes or no. Okay, next give your arguments, and then we want to show this form here. Well, a new form. Let's go to argument form. Actually, just over here. Let's copy all of this over, and we'll see where it leads us. Actually, I can do it like this, probably. Sure. It needs a vote, which we don't have, of course. Vote type. Let's click, and row count. Yeah, we need to get rid of that temporarily. Row count. Actually, let's just add that because that was pretty useful. Vote argument form. This row count, it changes the size of the text area, basically. The vote bar. So we say row count. Cool. Boom. We click, and existing argument. We don't need to take care of that anymore. So let's just get existing argument. Submit. Let's just do it like this. And then you're voting yes, you're voting no. Okay, cool, that works. Need some margin top, probably like this. Okay. So next, give your arguments. That's good. And then when we want to, we still need to store it, of course. So let's go to argument form. There's this method store argument. Let's copy this over. Store argument. If not body or not this vote type, will return, and otherwise we'll say user safe argument vote type. We need to change this, of course. And let's actually call this create argument, because we don't need this anymore. We can get rid of this. So argument equals new argument vote type is vote type, body is body. We'll add reputation, and we'll save the argument, and then we'll toggle. So this needs to happen in a transaction, like so. Looks good. Yeah, I think that's already most of the work done. Add named identifiers, please. Oh, that's wrong, body. And vote type is this vote type, like so. So we create an argument, we refresh everything, and we say argument created event, sure. Okay, let's try that out. So hello, submit your, okay, now we still need to make sure like this remembers your vote. And like I said, we're going to assume one argument per user for now, but we'll make some changes in the future there as well. So argument list can like this. Let's take a look here. What do we have? Oh, let's get rid of this. Undo vote. Yeah, we still need to support that. Okay. We don't need a user vote anymore. We do need the argument. User's argument. This user get argument for RFC. That's important. If there is a user argument, let's take a look here. And vote type. We also need boot. Whoop. Boot or mount. It's mount. So we need to say this body equal. Well, it's actually vote type. It's the only thing we need. Let's do it like this. User argument, vote type. Let's refresh. Undefined variable user vote. User vote. If not, okay, so that's good. Now, if we have an existing argument, we also want to, well, we don't want to show the form again. So if vote type and not user argument, then we say else if vote type. So if you voted, we'll say, well, actually, let's simplify this. We can and if, and then we can say if not user arguments. I think that's better. And if. Okay, and then we need to change this text as well. So let's say user argument. If it exists, we'll say you've voted, otherwise you're voting. You voted yes, you voted no. Now, how to deal with these with you changing a vote? Maybe let's fix undo first. Argument. Get argument for RFC. Make arguments. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Voted yes. Refresh. Okay, and we can undo our vote. And if we undo vote, vote bar, we also need to, this vote type is null, and this, well, that's actually it. Let's try that again. Let's delete. Oh no, not delete. Well, that's interesting. deleting should also have some extra things now. So if we delete an argument, it will also delete our vote. So it should update the vote bar. So that's pretty easy. Events, argument deleted. Let's call this refresh. User refresh, this and that. And then we need to do this. And then we can just call this refresh. Like so. And let's submit. Let's delete. And it works. Okay, cool. Hey, Christoph. Thanks for joining. Did I miss anything in chat? I think Roman already answered this question, right? What's the shortcut you're using to select all the duplicates to edit them? Yeah, for me it's Command D, but that's because I use I think the Sublime key bindings. I mean, I used to use Sublime 8 years ago or something. Then I switched to PHP Storm, but I like got used to the Sublime key map, so I copied it over and and I'm still using it today. It's something you get used to, and it's not worth the effort trying to change it. Okay, but let's go through this one more time. You can now cast a vote, but you have to submit your argument before it's actually submitted. Now we have to change our calculations here, because these numbers... Oh, I clicked it. I'm sorry. I probably should... Yeah, probably should add like a... some kind of a confirmation thing there. But yeah, these numbers, they shouldn't show just the amount of votes. They should show the total amount of upvotes for an argument, for all arguments. So let's go to RFC. We have percentage yes and percentage no, which uses count yes, count no, which are saved in the database. And now I'm starting to regret I did that a little bit. Yeah, I think let's add yes arguments and no arguments. As many. By the way, we're going to remove votes entirely once the refactor is done, but I want to keep them as a reference for now. So where vote type is no, and then we can say count total. Yeah, we probably need to get rid of count yes and count no, these columns. I'm not going to use them anymore. Well, I might use them again, but let's keep it simple for now. So let's say migration drop counts on RFC. Well, do I want to? No, I actually don't, because I should probably update counts. Let's make a migration for it. Migration update vote counts. We're not going to make any changes, but we're going to say RFC all each function RFC, there we go, RFC update. I'm going to say count yes equals RFC yes arguments count, and no is like this. And then we just need to make sure that whenever we perform an action, we update these counts correctly. So let's say migrate. I expect these to change. Yeah. Okay. So count yes is 22. Let me actually 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, that's not correct. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be 5. But I might not show. Yeah, I do this. I should say count. Yes. Count no. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's correct. And if I like upvote another one, and oh yeah, of course, nothing happens because I still need to update this here. Let's get rid of this. Toggle argument vote. So if you already have an argument, sure, this is good. But we also want to update RFC RFC equals argument, RFC decrement, count. How do I do that? No, I actually just have to, I'm just going to play it safe and copy this. So we, hang on a second. We make changes to votes. We update the argument, and then we just want to say RFC, argument, RFC. I want to refactor this later. I think this should probably be event driven. But for now it will work. Okay, so technically, it doesn't update anything. Why not? Because we need to count. Oh, this was wrong actually. My migration is wrong. Is it some votes count? We need to do it like this. Yep. Oh. Some votes count. It's vote count. Why did? Hang on a second. Arguments. Vote count, right? Yeah. And do I actually update that here? Argument vote update. Oh yeah, of course. Yes, arguments. No arguments. Vote count. Vote count. So. Okay, now it's changing. Sure. 7, 5. If I upvote this one, 6. Okay. Looks like it's working. Perfect. Okay. Is this the only place that it can happen? I'm wondering. Yeah. No, because if you create an argument, it also adds an argument vote, but I think it uses this method internally. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Oh, wrong button. Let's say create arguments. We have vote for RFC, that shouldn't happen anymore. Because, yeah, that's just... But we need to, well, we need to get rid of all of this anyway, so... that's fine. So vote for RFC can be gone. Vote for argument still exists. Create argument, gain argument, vote. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So that's fine. Now we go to our user, and everything that's related to votes should be gone. So in our seeder, create argument. This is good. Name identifiers. This is body. And this is vote type. We do it like this. Sure. Good. I've got some weird code styling here. I mean, I'll fix my tests off stream, probably, maybe, who knows? Create vote, sure. The thing is, vote type is yes. Yeah, I'm gonna need to fix some tests, but create vote is gone. That's good. Undo vote is in vote bar. I actually, oh, undo vote. What's happening here? Remove reputation, that can be gone. And yeah, okay, we can keep this. Now we need to update this as well. Definitely. And at this point, I want to move it to a dedicated function. So update vote count. Because I really don't want this to go wrong. This like so. RFC update vote count, sure, and then we say RFC update vote count, and then there's one more place when we create an argument. Actually, we also have to say update vote count. Again, I probably refactor this to something event driven. Oh, hang on, stop everyone. Yeah. No. Light team, have mercy. I'm sorry, I have to stop for just a moment because this is unacceptable. Let me tell you what you do. You go to this page, youtube.com/@phpannotated, right? You go to videos and you search for light. That's all you have to do. You click this video and you watch it, okay? And then you come back, right? But then, hang on. This was a good video. It was good. There's a very good reason to use light color schemes. Okay, you go watch it. Problem solved. Good. Now we can continue. No problem. Update vote. There was one more place. When an argument vote is toggled, like this. Then we can say this. Just make it a bit more concise. Okay. Get vote for RFC. Where is this used? In the detail controller. Let's get rid of it. And we'll see what breaks. Probably a lot. No. Good. in the argument form as well, but get rid of it. Are we still using it somewhere? Yeah, we do. But argument form is just gone entirely. Don't you like it when you can just remove lots of code and don't worry about the consequences, hopefully? Okay, delete argument, get vote for RFC. That was what we were using. That's in a migration. Oh yeah, that's good. Woo. It's gonna be, we can't get rid of it until we've run this migration, basically. So we can't get rid of votes before we run the migration, but that's good. Argument vote, this is all arguments. Arguments has already voted for argument, doesn't exist. Let's get rid of it. Okay, add reputation, remove, get avatar, email change, blah, blah, blah. Email can delete argument, can edit argument. Okay, good. Has voted for argument. Why? We're not using that, but I'm going to keep it. Delete argument, create argument, undo vote, which is actually, it should be renamed to undo argument. Makes more sense, I think. Argument votes, we need to keep it for our migration. Argument votes, that's a relation, we got to keep it. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. But just a quick tip, if you're using a light color scheme and your eyes hurt, I'll summarize the video. Adjust your screen brightness and adjust your room lighting setup, right? That's because if you're using a dark color scheme, you're still hurting your eyes. You might not notice it, but it means you're in a very poorly lit room or conditions, and it's not good for your eyes in the long run. Anyway, oh, it's like controversial comments hour maybe. Like per coding style for enums. I know. I wrote a blog post about it, and I prefer to use uppercase. So, and if you want to read why, you can read it. But I'm not as convinced about this as light color schemes. And this is a very good one. It seems to be becoming a very fat model. Yeah, it is. And I'm gonna have to refactor it. I was already also thinking this, but I didn't say anything because I want to get it working first. Things probably will change quite a lot in the future, and I don't want to focus on trying to optimize everything yet, but it has to change because this class is already way too big. It's not good. But yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna ignore the light color scheme comments for now. I really want to finish this. What did we do? We got rid of votes basically, and we hope everything still works, but it doesn't. And that's because argument form. Let's get rid of this. We moved it to our vote bar component. And we still need to take care of changing your vote, because right now it doesn't do anything. Take care of changing your vote when you've voted. Okay, good. So what I want to do now is seed or migrate fresh and seed. Like this. Just to make sure it works. And actually I want to, let's go to my, what's it called, database seeder, it's over here. Use a create argument. It doesn't show anything, which is strange. Let's take a look here at my RFCs. Yeah, it's the first one, right? Arguments, RFC ID. Yeah, there are arguments for it, which is weird. Oh, RFC detail. Let's debug that. RFC arguments. So yeah, there are arguments here. Let's get rid of that actually. Let's go to our argument list because that's what's showing. Render. We loop over RFC arguments, which is strange. I guess I know what's going on. Ugh. Okay. Hang on. If user arguments, yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah, I need to get rid of this. And then we get rid of this. And then we get rid of this. And there is no vote here anymore. Yeah, okay, that's good. So lots of arguments. I guess these numbers are correct. I hope. We can log in to cast our votes. Oh. Sure, okay, cool. That's good. And now I want to seed it again without any. And I think someone asked about this. What happens if the bar is 0? Well, this happens. It's taken care of. Okay. And then you can, well, you can't change your votes at the moment, but I will change that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to basically jump into a meeting in a couple of minutes. Roman, you need to come too, so we'll need to stop here basically. I'm going to download the production database, run my migrations on that one as well. I'll have to deploy it, and then I have to make some final changes to get rid of votes entirely, and then I think we're done. So. So yeah, that's good. Well, we're never done, of course, but then like the main refactor here is done, but we still need to do a couple of things. So yeah, I'll work on that probably in the weekend. I really like working on this project for now. Let me check if there are any more comments. Maybe having a service-like class which model can use passing itself as an argument could be a good way to start refactoring one day. What I'll do is using action classes, basically. Everything should be refactored to an action class, and an action just performs one thing, and it's easy to test, and it's a good way to structure code. So that's what I'll do. When will you be able to tackle the RSS page? Will you use DOM document, or for RSS I'll just use oh, you mean like the RSS sync? That already works. RSS RFC sync command, but we're actually going to change it. I used this package. It's called DG RSS PHP, but I'm going to change it. We're, instead of using externals, the externals RSS feed and like filtering on vote in the title and trying to figure out the correct URL based on a regex, we're just going to crawl the wiki, basically. We're going to crawl this page, and I think it will be much easier to achieve the same results. So let's take a look at what else. Are you still working on Tempest? Yes, definitely. Off stream, past week, no, because I've been working on this. But once this is done, I'll go back to Tempest and we'll stream about that again. Let's take a look here. Action controller or an action class executed by the controller. Let's actually, before I forget, refactor to actions. Should the last bug have caused a visible exception or error? I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but I don't know. Doesn't the wiki have an RSS feed? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. So, at least not as far as I know. I looked here. It has this, but it doesn't list like these changes. And this one, which is just a longer version. But as you can see, it's not even an RSS feed. It's HTML, I think. Anyway, we'll figure it out. And it won't be the biggest problem. And you know, I already have a way to manually add RFCs, which is fine as well. There aren't 100 RFCs per day, so it will be fine. But the idea is that once a new RFC goes into voting, or I don't know, goes into the under discussion section, it gets automatically synced as a draft, and then we don't have to manually copy over data. So yeah, man, I love where this is going. Yeah, me too. I'm pretty excited about it. And I think, especially with the new voting stuff, Roman, that was a pretty good idea. It was Roman's idea. It wasn't mine. Yeah, it's going to be cool. And I hope to be able to deploy this somewhere in the weekend or next week. We'll see. I want to thank you for watching. And do you want a PR for this? For what? A PR for... crawling? Yes, I do. I think actually someone is already working on it. Crawl over here. Actually, I asked. Oh, Roman already has a basis for it. Great. This is the power of open source. So yeah, definitely someone send a PR if you want to. Yeah, we're going to conclude here. I really need to go to my meeting. But thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoyed. Leave your comments in the feedback if you're watching afterwards. And share this on your social media and with your colleagues. I really hope this project can have a positive impact on the PHP community and how PHP evolves. So with all of that being said, subscribe and like and do all the things. And I will see you next time. Okay? Bye-bye.